Do you love improv? Because I do. I'm Trent Dozier, host of I Love Improv with Trent Dozier. Join me live on twitch.tv/The Trident Network every second and fourth Wednesday, where I'm joined by a new guest each episode to talk about and do some improv. Can't catch it live? No worries. Each episode gets turned into a podcast for your listening pleasure. Podcast episodes are released the Wednesday following the live show. So watch live or listen later. But either way, if you love improv, make sure to check out I Love Improv with Trent Dozier, a part of the Trident Network.
Yes, Esmeralda?
Well, I was just wondering if Mr. Zavala talked to you about our dance team.
He did.
So are you going to do it? Are you going to coach us?
Well, I really think I should become more proficient in what I was actually hired to do before I take anything else on.
Well, if you want, I can tell you how some of the really popular teachers around here do it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like that.
Will you coach the dance team?
Is that the conditions under which you're going to give me your advice?
Well, yeah. You help us. I help you. Why not make it so everybody wins? Si se puede, si se puede, si se puede, si se puede. Hey, Val.
Hey, Al.
Welcome to D-Commentaries.
Thank you. Welcome to you and welcome to our listeners. Today, we're recording in the same room.
Yay, we're together. First time ever.
First time ever.
To celebrate, one, us.
Yes.
Two, did we hit 3,000 downloads?
Yes, we did.
So we're celebrating 3,000 downloads. Wow, people have listened to us 3,000 times.
Wow.
Minus the times I've listened to us 3,000 times.
Right. And also minus the 3,000 of my listens.
So really,
we're at negative 3,000.
We're not doing too hot. Okay.
We're actually paying you to listen to us.
Look for your residuals. Check the mail.
It's going to be about a penny per person, just so you know. Well, folks, today we're talking about Gotta Kick It Up.
Oh, si se puede.
Si se puede. Now, okay, I wanted to ask this.
Okay.
I'll just ask it now. Did Barack Obama steal his catchphrase from this movie?
Maybe.
Because
he saw America Ferrara and said, I am about to be America president. Yes, we can. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can.
Also, in the movie, they say that it means yes, I can. But when you Google translate it, like some of us did, it says yes, we can. So any Spanish speakers out there, let us know your vocabulary.
We don't know.
Like rules of Spanish.
We don't know.
Your grammar.
I took French.
Me too.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je ne sais pas beaucoup française. Je sais un peu.
Mm-hmm. So Val just said she doesn't know a lot of French. She knows a little.
Mm-hmm. Oui.
I don't know how to speak it back, but I know what most people are saying.
My mom's first language was French. Mm-hmm. So I felt duty bound to take French.
Val just said duty.
Duty.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Gotta Kick It Up came out July 26th, 2002.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is we're at the Gotta Kick It Up anniversary, just like we had to get a Cluesfery, because we are recording this 2 days after the Gotta Kick It Up anniversary. 20 years of Gotta Kick It Up.
That's true. Exactly 20 years ago, this movie came out.
Yep.
And also, I would like to point out again that this came out 6 years before Barack Obama ran for president.
Okay.
So
America president.
They got to it first, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta Kick It Up was directed and written by Ramon Menendez. He doesn't have like a huge resume, but he also wrote and directed Stand and Deliver.
Oh, I don't know that one.
It is another teacher goes into a underfunded school.
Okay.
It's Edward James Olmos is the teacher, and he is a math teacher in that one.
Okay.
So He gets the kids like into like mathletes or whatever.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm. He wrote the teleplay, The Story, which I guess this is based on a true story.
I was curious because this is Spoiler City, but at the end they do the team ended up blah, blah, blah.
Right. So yes, it is based on a true story.
Okay.
Confirmed by IMDb.
Cool.
And so I think that the other two writers that are credited are like the people who I guess wrote the story. Like, I don't know if they wrote a book or like how it happened, but
okay.
The other two writers were Megan Cole, who this is her only credit,
okay, and
Nancy de los Santos Reza,
okay,
who her other notable credit is that she was a producer on the movie Selena.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never actually seen it, but I've seen clips.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Worth a watch.
Have you seen?
Have you seen?
Have you seen
this? Anyway, let's get to the cast. It's a big cast. So as fast as I can.
Okay.
Camille Guaty played Daisy Salinas. She has been on Prison Break, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, Family Guy, Scorpion, and The Rookie, among many other things. She's a character actor. Mm-hmm. Most of the people in this movie are prolific character actors.
Yeah.
America Ferrara,
whoop, whoop,
played Yolanda or Yoli Vargas. She's definitely best known for a few things. One is Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yep.
Which is definitely when I was introduced to her. But her first movie ever was Real Women Have Curves.
Oh.
Which I really like.
I've never seen that one either.
A very long time ago, but it was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she was in Ugly Betty as the titular Betty. She also, this is a fun fact, she's the voice of Astrid in How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I love How to Train Your Dragon.
It's a good series.
Great, like underrated.
Mm-hmm. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah, it's great. Mm-hmm. And there's like a million of them. So she's literally Astrid in
a ton.
All of them.
Is Astrid the main girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's Jay Baruchel is the main guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's great.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
They're actually, I heard that they're building a How to Train Your Dragon like land in Universal.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
That would make for some great rides.
Yeah.
Good food. Mm-hmm. Like just a fun ambiance.
I hope sorry to any Simpsons fans, I hope they tear down the Simpsons ride and put it right there. Oh man, that gave me so much motion sickness.
Oh, I can't do, that's a thing. It's called sim sickness.
I have that.
Me too.
Okay.
Like I can't go into any of those rides where like you're not actually going forward, like where it's just like a simulation.
Don't ride Ratatouille.
Okay, I won't.
Yeah.
And also more recently, America Ferrara has been on The Good Wife.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Joanna Flores played Alyssa Cortez. She stopped acting in 2013 and she did have a stint on The Young and the Restless, but that was basically her only like notable credit. Suilma Rodriguez, I hope that's how to say her name, played Marisol. Okay. She hasn't really acted.
Great. We love a one and done.
Yeah. She was the one who, for those who've seen the movie, struggled with her English.
Great. Okay.
That was her. And Alyssa was the one whose parents were really involved. She was like the high achiever. Sabrina Weiner, could be either. People have preferences. Played Esmeralda Reina. And she, Esmeralda was the one who had to take care of her brother all the time.
Oh, okay.
The one who like really loved dance, but like at the beginning was terrible at it.
Yeah.
Same. This was actually her last acting credit.
Oh.
Yeah. So she had done a few things before.
Okay.
But this was her final thing.
Hope she's doing well.
Me too. Okay. Miguel Sandoval played Principal Zavala. Now, he's one of these people who is an epically prolific character actor.
Yeah.
He has been in like literally everything. These are just a few like samples of the things that he has been in. Howard the Duck, Do the Right Thing, He's been in episodes of Law and Order, ER, West Wing. He was in a voice in Jackie Chan Adventures. He was in the movie Bottle Shock. He was on the show Medium, Entourage. And more recently, he was a recurring character on Station 19, which Brenda Song was also a recurring character on. Wow. And he was also in Barry.
Okay, we know that one because we're comedy.
Because comedy.
Heard of it.
Yep. So, yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. Eric Gavica played Chewy, the boyfriend, high school dropout / spoiler alert, drop back in. Now we've gotten to the place where Al wants to take over.
I want to say this one.
Okay.
So Val, there is a teacher here who joins the school who basically teaches dance to these kids.
She's a biology teacher.
She's a biology teacher.
But she's the dance coach.
And my third note said, she sounds like Susan Egan. And you sure as shit. It's Susan Egan.
It is Susan fucking Egan.
It's Susan fucking Egan. This one's explicit. Or explicit.
Yes. And like, so first of all, say who Susan Egan is.
Susan Egan is the voice of Meg in Hercules, which if you do not remember, you imbecile, is my favorite Disney movie.
And if once you know that, you can hear it.
Oh,
like, it's so obvious.
That's why I was like, oh, this sounds like her.
Right.
But I don't know. The times that I've seen her recently, she has dark hair. So I don't know what she looked like in early 2000s.
Right.
So
and she might have been wearing a wig or definitely had dyed her hair at minimum. But so the thing about this is that Susan Egan is a voice actor. She has not been in many things on camera. She was Meg in Hercules. She is a voice on Steven Universe.
Okay.
And I mean, she's done other stuff too. But the only other like on camera stuff that's like notable, at least to us, was like she was in 13 Going on 30.
Okay.
One thing I wanted to note about her is that she's absolutely doing her own dancing in this movie.
Oh, she's awesome. She's a great dancer.
She's an incredible dancer. I was shocked. Like it's interesting to me. Like, I don't know what her story is.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly she is professionally trained in dance.
Okay, I was correct. So there was a series of shows you could attend, and it was like a Broadway princess party.
Okay.
And I thought that she was in it, and she is. So she is still performing to this day at this like Princess the Concert is what it was in January. And I think it's still touring.
Wow, that's cool. Okay. Gina Gallego played Mrs. Cortez, the mom of Alyssa.
Okay.
She's been in quite a bit. She was in Bold and the Beautiful, Aaron Brockovich, Mr. Deeds, Days of Our Lives, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. Yeah. So she's been in a lot.
Cool.
And then her husband, the guy who played her husband, is Jerry Del Sol. He's like been in nothing of note.
Yeah, he said, get that check, I'm out.
Yeah. Valente Rodriguez played Mr. Reyna, who I believe was Esmeralda's dad.
Okay.
He's been in a lot of stuff too, including Aaron Brockovich.
Amazing.
What are the freaking odds?
I watched that over Pan, and I didn't like it.
Oh, that's a shame. I like that movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Fair.
Yeah.
He was also on the George Lopez show. He was in the Disney movie McFarland USA.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
And he is or was on High School Musical, the series. Okay, so Esmeralda's mom was played by Anita Ortega. Yvonne Farrow played Linnell Elliott. She was like the recruiter from the fancy school.
Yep.
She was on Alias, but she stopped acting in 2012.
Okay. Mm-hmm. She said, end of the world, end of my world.
It's funny to think because like after this, she still acted for 10 years before she stopped acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Time is
about the essence.
Is weird. Ahmad Stoner played one of their classmates, Gomez. I only bring him up because he was a lost boy in Hook.
Wow.
And he was also in The Color of Friendship.
Heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
Watched it.
And this was his last film as well.
Wow.
Yeah. And then finally, James Dumont played Alex, who I think was the guy who came to like tell Miss Bartlett that there was a job for her at this company.
Yeah, her like best friend or whatever.
Yeah. The only reason I bring him up is because he's had like a pretty big resume.
Okay.
Some of the notables are Treme, Law and Order True Crime, and The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, wow. I hate that show.
I've never seen it.
It's a boy show.
Oh, okay. All right, here's the synopsis. At a Southern California middle school with a largely Latin American student population, Yolanda and Daisy convince new biology teacher Miss Bartlett to become the coach of their dance team. After some early setbacks, the girls rebel against their Juilliard-trained coach's discipline and old-fashioned ideas. But after the girls sneak off and perform in an intramural competition without their coach's knowledge, the two sides must find middle ground.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, that does happen, but is that like the main synopsis? Like the point of the movie?
No, I feel like, and also it wasn't an intramural. I don't know. There's a lot about that it's like too much and also not accurate.
Right. It is accurate.
Some of it is, yes. Like they definitely bristle at her.
Yeah.
Al?
Yeah.
What were your first impressions?
I'm going to give this one a 6.
Fair.
I wanted to like it a little bit more, but I did like it.
Okay.
I remember it so distinctly in my mind of really loving it, and I don't know why I don't love it now. I think it was good, and the acting was good, I thought. Val disagrees. I thought it was good. It just wasn't like great.
Fair.
Val, first impressions.
Thanks, Al. I liked it. Here's my hypothesis of why you don't like it as much as you did. The way that it's written and acted is very very young person focused.
Mm-hmm.
So like whereas some movies as an adult, you can also enjoy them because they're just sort of accessible to everybody or because they also include the adult's perspective.
Yeah.
This movie, I mean, it definitely has Miss Bartlett's perspective to some degree, but it's even the way that is like handled and delivered feels kind of childish.
Yeah.
Like it's like kind of over dramatized and like, I don't know, the choices that she makes are kind of bizarre to me. And I am almost positive I've never seen this movie before.
Oh, okay.
So one thing I was thinking about is like I used to go to camp every summer.
Mm-hmm.
So
if it came out over the summer, you wouldn't have seen it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have been at camp, so I just didn't see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing it for the first time as an adult, I wanted to like it and I didn't dislike it. I just think that like a lot of the reactions of every character were overdone. And it felt like this is how a kid would direct a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my
I can see that. It felt like a library version of like Bring It On or like Bring It On mixed with like what's the movie with Hilary Swank? Freedom Writers.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like
literally
that.
Yeah. So yeah, not bad, just not great.
Yeah.
Okay, Al, did you have any fun quotes or moments?
I really didn't write down too many. Just wanted to say Stu shout out.
What?
Oh yeah, Stu Krieger. His name on the credits.
What?
Mm-hmm.
As what? A writer?
No idea, but I wrote it because I saw it. So this is a Stu shout out. I caught something Val did it.
Maybe he produced it. I'll look into
Crazy. As long as I've got the moves, I'll be the one picking the tunes. That's Ryan. And then I said she sounds like Susan Egan. Knew it. She said, I cannot dance sitting down. There was a missing key. And the principal's face goes. It was so funny. That's my favorite moment. And then another favorite quote was, there are 100 paths to working out if it's something you truly want.
Wow.
I liked that.
I like that too.
I was like, man, I'd tattoo that on my butt.
Your rump.
Rump. No, Val, my butt. Val! What were some of your favorite quotes and moments?
Oh, thanks, Al.
You're welcome.
So one of the first things said is, you want to kick back after school? Watch some Tube. Which, as we have said before, why does everyone keep saying Tube?
Wow. Disney Channel was really like, call it the Tube. We're going to make it a thing.
I mean, these are TV movies, so I guess maybe they were like, you know, let's encourage people to watch TV.
Watch more TV. It's like one of those like subliminal message.
Yes,
it's a subliminal message where they're like, let's watch the Tube.
Okay, so my favorite moment was when two girls did not audition for the dance team because they had to have white shoes.
Yeah, they're like, I can't keep my shoes clean. I'd be on that team. I'd be on I'm on the dance team that has dirty shoes.
Like, what? It was like, I know they just had to come up with like reasons why these girls weren't gonna stay in the room, but like, it was just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Someone said, got an internet job. Which, like, maybe that's how they used to say it, but it made me giggle.
Yeah.
I'm just a kid. I don't want to be all settled.
That's how I feel now at 29.
I know, right? Or at 35.
Says the one who's married.
Yeah, but I don't know what I want to do with my life.
Oh, okay. Then
I don't want to wonder. I want to know.
I want to know. What can you show me? I have to stop before it hits 13 seconds.
The reason why I like that quote is because it's talking about like, I don't want to wonder for the rest of my life whether or not we would have won or we would have, succeeded. I want to just do it and find out. And like, as someone who can often be too afraid to try something, like I want to be more like that, where it's like, I don't want to wonder. I want to know. Okay, here's a good one. Dance first, faint later. And then another deep one. There's a big difference between being the best and being your best.
I didn't write that one down because I knew you would.
It's a good one.
Thanks, Susan Egan.
Again, like something that I struggle with, right? Like you naturally compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
But really what you should be doing is just saying, how can I be my best? Like the best version of me.
Yeah.
You can't be anybody else. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to talk about before we go to Spoiler City?
No, I want to rip off my cheerleading uniform.
Okay. Are we taking our time?
And then it said, don't take your top off, Val. Wow. I'm so happy to be sitting here completely clothed yet hypothetically naked with you, Val.
Me too.
Welcome to Spoiler City. My notes this week are not very detailed, but I feel like this movie was very vague.
I think it sort of speaks to what I was talking about before.
Yeah, it's just very like child.
Yeah, it's simple.
Like, yeah.
It's a simple story. The same kind of thing happens like 4 times.
Yeah.
And
like, look at my notes. I have like none.
It was extremely predictable as well.
Yeah.
Like
it was fun.
Yeah. No, again, nothing against it.
Yeah.
It was like, and all of these teacher movies, I mean, you know that they're going to like change the kids' lives and make them better versions of themselves. And they're going to change the teacher too. So, of course that was expected.
Yeah.
And of course at some point they're going to get like better uniforms or like better books or better whatever.
Val is literally just saying the whole movie. Wow.
Okay. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. We welcome you to a movie with no narrator. And I love it. We get an intro to school where we're learning all about the school and the girls are dancing. They're having a good time. And then we see a new teacher and you can tell she's new because she doesn't know where she's going. And then we can see that like Esmeralda is a little bit of a nerd and there's some other nerds and they love to dance. Everyone loves to dance. And then we see I wrote Miss Bennett, but it's Miss Bartlett. So for one line, I'm going to call her Miss Bennett, which is Susan Egan. So then at the beginning, they don't treat Susan Egan very kindly. Like when you get a new teacher, you have a substitute teacher, something like that. They're just kind of mean. And the principal of the school is used to be in the military. So he's very military man and cuts out the shenanigans that go around in the school and comes into the classroom. And Daisy is like dancing in the classroom. And he comes in and he's like, hey, you get detention, because she was like dancing in the classroom. Then we find out that Miss Renee retired, which is the old dance team teacher. So they don't have a dance team this year because there is no teacher to do it. And then what happens next is that one of the girls is in the office and somehow looks at Susan Egan's resume.
I think that Esmeralda like volunteers in the office.
Okay, so Esmeralda's like the nerdy one. She volunteers in the office and she sees her resume and sees that Juilliard is on the resume. And then they confront her and Susan Egan says, dancing is a part of my past. That's my best Susan Egan impression. Think of that with like wispy bangs though, because her bangs are like,
oh, so of that time.
And then Daisy asks if she can join the dance team instead of going to detention, because she goes to the principal and is like, wouldn't it be better if I was part of like school instead of sitting in school and doing nothing? And so he was like, yeah, never thought of that before, even though I've been in principal for like 50 years. Then they have tryouts and they have certain rules like the shoes, or you have to be on time or you can't be failing. And so all these girls leave. And then halfway through, basketball comes in and needs the gym. It's very weird, poor planning. And so he's like, no, you can have the gym. And she's like, you need the gym. There's literally baskets here. And they end up in the body shop doing their auditions and playing CDs out of the cars in the body shop.
This is a very CD-centric movie.
Oh my God, they're obsessed with CDs. Now for Gen Z, a CD is a circle piece of technology, kind of a little plastic shiny thing, where you used to put music on it. Didn't used to be on your plastic shiny box that you hold every day.
And you'd have to burn the CD.
Yeah, you light it on fire.
And if it got even the tiniest scratch, it would not play.
You're fucked. We're already explicit. You'd be fucked. Then she's like, okay, you're all made it because you can dance, and everyone kind of has their own flavor of dance, I would say. And then she has them training on the track outside, like running laps. And so you can see that she's a little bit more of a stricter coach in the beginning. And then they kind of like fight with her on the track of like, why are you doing this? We're a dance team. And then they kind of like bicker with one another. And I said, Salinas and Teach are going to fight. And then they go to the first competition. We meet Alyssa's parents, which is like a weird intro of like, hi, this is so random. Meet my parents. They're right here. But then they come back later, which is why they're introduced, but still like weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like... I've introduced my parents to my teachers.
I just thought it was a weird, no, I mean, me too, but I just thought it was a weird cutout of she like, we've never heard Alyssa talk. And then she's like, these are my parents. It was just very like, oh, okay. We're not meeting anyone else's parents. I think we meet one other person's parents.
Yeah, we meet Esmeralda's parents.
Yeah. Which is the guy from George Lopez.
And High School Musical, the series.
The 3rd season comes out today.
Wow.
Oh, they go to camp. Maybe you have to watch. No, but I think it's good. I think you should watch the show. I think it's good. COVID kind of really fucked up their like writing. Like they really did them dirty in season 2. But I do like the show.
Okay.
It has nothing to do. Well, have you seen High School Musical?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Yes, I have seen High School Musical.
Val hasn't seen like half of the ones after 2005, so I had to clarify.
Have exclusively seen High School Musical.
Have you seen High School Musical 2?
Yes, I've seen each of the High School Musicals once.
Okay.
Well, I've seen the first one more than once, but I've seen the other ones once.
All right. An aside. Then the other team was like wishing them good luck, which I thought was going to come off as rude, which definitely felt very like.
Yeah, it was like it felt like they were taunting them at first, but I guess this is like
they actually were like being fine and nice. Yeah. Then Esmeralda is like sick and nervous, and then the principal shows up and they are really bad. They're like really bad. And Daisy gets hit by a pom-pom. And so she's just like pissed and she walks off and she quits the team. And she's like, they're so bad. And then Daisy comes back to grab her backpack on a Saturday with her boyfriend, who is obviously 16. And we are in middle school and we know he's 16 because he can drive.
Right. But also we should say that this middle school, which is a thing, has 9th grade in it. They are in 9th grade.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So they're only 1 year apart from each other.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. Whew, I was like, God, this 16-year-old is going after this fucking 12-year-old. Then she finds, when she's in the school grabbing her backpack, she finds Miss Bartlett in the gym on Saturday dancing. And Miss Bartlett is dancing very beautifully, very like musical theater, and then just like falls to the ground and starts to cry. Very funny. She was just like,
her dancing style felt very, is it Save the Last Dance, the one with Julia Stiles?
Yes.
Yeah, like it felt very similar to that.
Yeah.
Like final routine she does.
Wow. And if you haven't seen that movie in a while, give it a watch. And then she asks, so Miss Bartlett asks Daisy to come back and she says no. But then the teacher starts teaching dancing from like the ground up of like, okay, let's just start basics. And Daisy shows up to that because she like came to her senses. And Bartlett teaches more teaching. She does a montage of dancing and she refuses to send them to
So there's like a series of breakthroughs that Bartlett has. This is the first one where like she kind of realizes that by holding back from the girls that she can dance, she was like not doing them a service. So then she starts dancing with them.
Yes.
And that's when they start getting good. But then they want to go to this competition.
Yes.
And she doesn't think they're ready.
Right. And so she won't send them to this competition because they are not ready. And one of the girls sneaks into the office with a fake note to play music on the speakers so that they can play it outside at lunch. And they like take the key, which is when we get that funny face from earlier, and like locks the PA system with the music on the speakers. And they are yelled at. And so she's like, no, you just went behind my back. Like we're absolutely not going to this competition. But in the meantime, they found their old uniforms. And so they work together to, quote, look hot. So they're like working together and sewing like the old uniforms to make them look a little bit nicer. And they decide that they're going to go to this competition without Miss Bartlett. But when they get there, and they figure out a way there because of Daisy's boyfriend and his friends drive them there. So they didn't need like parents there or anything. And they get there and they needed a coach signature. But Daisy goes, oh, she's in the bathroom. And so she gets Chewy, her boyfriend, to then use the CD. Once again, there's so much CD play here. It's like freaking CD porn. And then he's the one who presses play. They did the cheering that the other team did that we thought was mean at first, but they're like, GOODLUCK. Good luck, good luck. Mm-hmm. That's kind of close. That
I
was
guess
fun.
Maybe that's a thing at dance competitions.
Yeah. I feel like it's not. I feel like everyone's like, fuck you. So they did that, and then they're nervous, but they do really good. And after the performance, Daisy gets pulled aside by the dean of Linnell, the dean of the Performing Arts High School. And she's like, hey, you're really good. Like, would love to chat with you. Here's my business card. And the girls are screaming and they're happy. And they got 3rd place out of 26, which is crazy. And then Alyssa's parents are mad when they get back to school and are going to tell because they're like, where were you? And then Daisy shows up at Miss Bartlett's home and they have like a heart to heart, which is weird because how does she know where she lives? And she's like, no one feels like you believe in us. You want to say something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, you leaned close.
Well, no, I was just going to say like, this is the next breakthrough. Yeah,
this is like I would say the biggest one of no one feels like you believe in us. She goes into this huge monologue as to why she quit Juilliard because she was only there for like 2 weeks and about all of her fears. And she's, not the teams, like all of this jargon of like, honestly, I would do this monologue for an audition.
Yeah.
It was a good monologue.
It was. Basically, like, it was interesting because it was sort of a statement about like people becoming their parents. So like the whole reason that she like held herself to a ridiculous standard and she quit Juilliard because she didn't feel like she could cut it because she was comparing herself to all the other kids.
Which we all do.
Right. Is because her parents made her feel like she was never enough and she had to be perfect. And so she was then sort of by accident in trying to like protect the kids from like that doing the same fate. Thing. She was actually doing the exact same thing that her parents did to her.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is where we get the si se puede. Si se puede. Si se puede. Then we see the teacher. All of these people. I think it's so funny. I have like 8 names for every single person in this movie. So thank you for following along to every time I do this. Then Miss Bartlett sits down with Alyssa's parents and they're like, we really like you. We like that you came to your senses. We're not going to tell the principal. We see a montage of them learning more dance. Then Miss Bartlett talks to Daisy because she found out that she got asked to go to the performing arts high school. And they talk about regionals and just like the future kind of there. And then the boyfriend gets mad that Daisy is spending more time with the team and not enough with him. And he leaves, which I was like, girl, good. And then they can't go to regionals because they have no money to go to regionals because they didn't budget that they would have a dance team this year. So they have no money and they need $1,200. They have 2 weeks to raise money. So what did everyone assume they were going to do? A car wash. And so they raise money. They also needed a new routine in 2 weeks to go to regionals. And then this is where we have Alex, Susan Egan's friend, offer her like a new job in marketing. And he comes to her house and he's like, you'd be really good at this. And she's like, I don't know. And then we see that Yoli, which is America Ferrara, might not be able to perform because of her grades. She has an F in math. And one of the things was you can't be failing anything. Then the Miss Bartlett comes into the gym and they get mad because they found out about her interview with this marketing job saying, you're leaving us. Everyone always leaves us. Just go. Like, I can't believe you're leaving us. You're a terrible person. And she's like, can you let me talk? And they're like, no, you're terrible. And fuck you. She's like, okay, if you would let me talk, you'd realize that I like interviewed and turned down the job. And they were like, okay. And like, everyone's fine. So she stayed. And then Yoli or Yolanda, aka America Ferrara, will be able to dance with the team because Miss Bartlett talked to the principal, I believe, about this as extra credit. If she was able to collect all of the money from the car wash and count it and it's correct, then she would get extra credit and she would get a D. So she'd be able to perform with the team. Then right when we think that we're not going to make enough money, the ex-boyfriend Chewy comes in clutch and he brings 9 cars, which is $85. And then he donates 15. So they made it with enough money. They go to regionals. They can't find their pom-poms. Daisy is struggling with like, main character energy is just too heavy for carrying the movie on her back. And she talks to Miss Bartlett and then she's like, you got this. And she literally hesitates at the beginning of the dance. And America Ferrara is like, we're not doing this. And she like pops her into it. They do well. And I watched it back twice to see if they like won or anything, but they didn't announce like, oh, they got first place or third place. Like I watched it twice and I didn't see anything like that.
I definitely thought they came in second.
Did they?
Yeah.
I watched it twice and didn't see a trophy, didn't hear an announcement.
I think it's in that thing at the end.
So that I read. So that's different. So let me say this. Hold on. So they did well. And then Chewy apologizes and says he's going back to, I wrote college. He's not that old enough. And he's going back to high school because he was inspired by Daisy. And then at the end, it says that they did well enough. They went to nationals, but I didn't see in there.
I could have sworn it said they
second
came
place.
in second at regionals and then went to nationals.
All I saw at the end that maybe I was just reading too fast and I skipped over it. But yeah, that's the movie. Yay. Si se puede.
Si se puede.
Si se puede.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I talked about it very monotone today, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a fun movie to have on in the background. You need to sit down and pay attention to it, or like, will you have as good of a time as watching Under Wraps or Xenon the sequel? No.
But it's, gals looking out for gals, friendship.
Al's looking out for Val's.
Yeah, and Val's looking out for Al.
That's us.
That's us. And it's a nice, like the fact that it's a true story is nice.
Which I didn't know until Val mentioned it at the beginning.
Yeah,
so
that was its only fun fact.
Yeah,
is that it's based on true story.
My fun facts are that America Ferrara and Susan Egan are in this movie.
Yeah, no, definitely fun fact that Meg from Hercules makes an on-screen appearance when she doesn't do on-screen like ever.
Anything. Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah. And really a good dancer, like legit.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I wanted to mention, just because I really appreciated it, and this was something that was like sort of a thing for America Ferrara when she was a kid, and now it's not really a thing anymore, is like, I really like that she was just like a normal sized person.
Yeah.
And also that it was not a topic of conversation at all.
No.
Like not one time was her weight brought up ever. Yeah. She was a very good dancer. She was cool. She
was beautiful.
Yeah, she was beautiful and very natural.
She is beautiful, but like in this movie, like you can tell like she's just so pretty. It makes me so sad that in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, she is the like
the fat friend. Yeah.
Because
and it's like, oh my God, these pants fit her too.
Yeah.
Like that's the way that it's sort of framed.
She's so great.
Yeah. And like, that's the thing. Like a lot of the other movies, like Real Women Have Curves is obviously about bodies and weight. And like all of them have like positive messaging for the most part. But like, it still sucks that like that was her narrative, because like now, she's, I would say she's still like normal size for Hollywood, but like she's definitely not the size she was when she was a kid. And like, as long as she's happy and healthy, like it's fine. Like she can be whatever, it's not my business, like what she does, but with her body. But like, I loved that she was just herself at that age and that it wasn't a thing.
Right. Yeah.
It was great.
I also think that this movie passed the Bechdel test.
Yeah. If it weren't for Chewie, it would have like scored 100%.
Yeah.
The Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they weren't like trying to like ship Miss Bartlett. Like it was just, it was completely focused on
I was thinking that when Alex showed up, he was going to be a love interest. I'm glad that he wasn't.
Yeah, no, I'm glad. And that's the other thing. Like, it was kind of interesting, like her character. And I mean, this must have been based on truth, but like she was a business person who like got screwed in the .com boom, which is a very real thing. And then became a teacher. And then she got offered this other, like, obviously very high paying job. And then she didn't take it. And like, it was cool to have like a man approach this youngish woman and be like, you're the one we want. Yeah. You have the experience we want. We want to pay you a lot of money to do this job. Because like, especially then, like, and even still now, like that doesn't happen for women the way that it does for men, like all the time, where you're like sought out for a job like that.
And something we didn't mention, because I didn't find it important till this conversation right now, was that she isn't a teacher. She went to go teach at the school to just have a job to get out of the world she was in. Right. So she doesn't have experience teaching biology. They were looking for a biology teacher. She applied and got it. Right. So this marketing job was actually more up her alley, which is why she didn't take it, because she didn't want to be in that world anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And she became a good teacher because, she paid attention and she like adapted to what the kids needed, which, that's what a teacher does.
Adaption.
Cool. All right. Anything else before we head on over to bingo?
No, I think we're good.
All right. First up, One Hit Wonder. So I should have done this before, but I think there is a song in this movie that is...
There's one that plays like a couple times.
Yeah.
I think there is one.
But I think that at least one of these is definitely a One Hit Wonder.
Great. We're going to not tell you what it is. And so it's a game of you have to go back and listen to the movie and figure out which one.
Because we didn't do it.
We didn't do that. Next one is Breaking the Fourth Wall or Looking into the Camera.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. Okay.
Holiday themed.
Cheering.
No.
Clunky metaphor.
So I actually thought of one.
Okay.
So I think their uniforms are a metaphor.
Hands down.
Because it's like a big topic of conversation are their uniforms.
Yeah.
So when they first start, they get these like old uniform. Well, first of all, they don't have uniforms at all at
Right.
the beginning.
Mhm.
They have to wear their gym clothes, which they're not happy about, and I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So, which it's a metaphor for like their sort of team cohesion and
Right.
ability, right? So then they get their old uniforms and they're crappy, but then they like zhuzh them up
Yeah, they
as
zhush.
a team. And it was cool too because one of the girls, I can't remember which one, it might have been Alyssa, her mom was very clearly a seamstress, right? So she
Yeah.
brought like all of her stuff and her sewing machine. And so it was kind of also symbolic of like
When we
each
work
of them-
together as a team.
and each of them bringing their own thing, like their own like background, their own family stuff. So like later when they're coming up with their final routine, each one of them brings like a little bit of like their family's favorite like
Dance style.
Latin American dance style, right? And like I thought that was kind of a cool like symbol of that was
Yeah.
like this girl using her mom's like stuff that she does. So that was neat. And then obviously at the end, after fundraising, part of what they get when they fundraise is they get brand new uniforms, and they're like all professional and look great. They look just like the Toro's uniforms in Bring It On.
And that's the ones that you remember if you've seen this movie. Like that's what you think of when
Right.
you think of Gotta Kick It Up.
Right. But like for 90% of the movie, they are not wearing those uniforms.
Correct.
And they build up to it. And so, yeah, I definitely think that
I agree.
works.
Good
Thanks.
job, Val.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We haven't had one in a while.
No, we haven't.
So
Those metaphors ain't been clunky.
nope.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Parents who just don't get it.
No,
No.
we don't see too many parents. The parents that we do see are just like protective. I think that they were right to be like, you shouldn't go without a chaperone. You're 13. It'd be different if they were just like, we don't want you to dance ever.
Totally. I think you're right about Alyssa's parents, but what just occurred to me is Esmeralda's parents are constantly trying to like get her to do housework, take care of her brother, like do all of this stuff because like they're working and they don't have time to do it.
We can mark it.
And it made me think of like something I've seen a lot on like TikToks and stuff where people are talking about like generational differences and stuff like that, and how like especially in like immigrant households or like households with a lot of kids, that happened a lot, like where the kids were sort of like forced to do like parent work. And so they like almost tried to make her quit just because like she needed to be home to babysit her brother.
Right.
And like, I understand they probably were like, well, we need to go to work. So like, I get it, but I also am kind of like, yeah, but their daughter has a future that she should be able to pursue and, you know, do what she cares about.
Yeah.
So.
No, we'll take it.
Okay.
Cool non-parent adult. Yeah. Susan Egan.
Susan Egan. Someone too famous for a TV movie. I don't think so. Not at this point.
No.
Well, because like Susan, no one would know who Susan Egan is.
In 2001, did they know who she was though? I don't know. Or 2002?
When did Hercules come out?
Like 97?
I just don't like it, you know,
I don't know when her peak was, you know.
And also she's not an on-camera person, so like I wouldn't have like seen her and been like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, we can not mark it.
Okay.
Competition to resolve a central problem. Ding, ding, ding. I love when we mark this one because we never get to
regionals. A montage sequence.
If we could X this square 1,000,000 times.
A lot of montages.
Cliche villains.
No.
Yeah, no, themselves.
Yeah. I think because it's like a true story. There's not really a villain.
Yeah.
Clothes or items that you owned. Oh, Al's got one.
They had Sophie shorts on.
I wrote the same thing. I had those. I literally had those red Sophies until like last week. I'm not kidding. I threw
slide
them
in
out
our
last
DMs.
week.
Are they Sophie shorts or Sophie shorts?
Uh-oh.
I think it depends on where you lived.
Yeah.
Even though we were in two different parts of the suburbs.
Yeah. I don't know. I always heard Sophie.
I also had a Jansport backpack.
So did I.
Yeah, they were carrying Jansport backpacks.
There was one other. Oh, at one point towards the end, America Ferrara wears jean short overalls.
Oh yeah, those were cute.
I definitely had those.
I think I used to have a pair in college.
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60%. Since we're together, I'm gonna say what we do here. For 3,000 downloads. Val's gonna guess. If she's correct within 5 on either side, she gets a point. If the movie lands between 40 to 60, we will mark the square.
Okay.
Val.
I am going to guess 42.
Incorrect. 56.
Oh. Well, we get the square.
Yeah, I was going to say about what I thought. I feel like right in the middle, you know?
Yeah, I almost went higher, but then I was like this one doesn't get as much like attention, so I wasn't sure. No, I'm happy it's higher than what I guessed.
Yes.
Happily Ever After.
I'd say so. They went to nationals. We saw it on the screen for about 0.04 seconds. Which is why I didn't see that they came in second. Almost Kissing.
Yes.
Yeah, huh? They legit, like, they held hands instead of kissed.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is a middle school movie. You are not touching.
It was so awkward.
It was so awkward.
It was like, he literally, like, she wanted so badly to kiss him, and he, like, took her hand off of his neck.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Like,
and held her hands.
I feel so uncomfortable right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it would have been less uncomfortable if they just kissed.
Right. Yes.
Ugh. Someone who became famous.
America. That's it. It's America Ferrara.
That's right.
Great. Betraying of one's real friends or values. I feel like kind of everyone does in a weird way tertiarily in this movie. Locking the school door and putting on the PA system, going without the teacher. Like, I do feel like they go against their values, especially when we see their parents.
They do. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Your childhood crush.
Not in this one, Val.
No. I probably, if I'd been more aware of this movie when I was more aware of myself, I probably would have had a crush on Daisy.
Yeah, she's cute.
She's very cute.
I think she's pregnant now.
Oh, nice. Good for her. I love a dimple. A big dimple gal.
Okay.
So
hear that all those dimple people out there, if you're trying to hit on Val, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I probably would have, but I did not at the time. Mainly because I did not see this movie.
Great. Obviously bad special effects or stunts.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't see any because I think that the dance moves that we saw were them and they were like good enough. Like they weren't super hard where.
Yeah. And I think that might be also, I forgot to mention this earlier. So like we said, a lot of them didn't act a lot and didn't act a lot past this movie, if at all. I think that's because they picked dancers first.
Maybe that would make sense. Just like it, like when they did surfing movie.
Yeah. Rip Girls. Yeah. They picked like surfers first who could act,
right? Versus
like actors who could surf.
Exactly.
With the exception of the leads, which could do both.
Great.
Yeah. So Disney Channel stars per our winning vote on our.
Thank you for everyone who voted.
Yes, we had a good turnout.
None.
No, not at all.
Musical number.
I think we can count it. Oh.
I am stunned to silence.
Here's why. Because
they were dancing.
Well, not only that, but like it was a focal point of the movie that they choreographed those moves in particular to reflect them and their culture.
Yeah.
So I thought that was like it's significant enough and reflective enough of them that it counts.
Yeah, I think that's great. Cool.
Magic. Nope.
Just the hearts of the middle schoolers.
Right.
Love magic.
She is a science teacher, but even when they show her class, she's never
not
doing science.
Because she's like, I don't know, Val, your computer's going to die.
Oh, crap. Well, okay.
Well, we're almost done. Okay. Someone says the title of the movie.
So someone said kick it up.
They don't say gotta kick it up.
They don't say gotta kick it up.
So I don't think we count it.
No.
Great.
Scooby-Dooed. Kind of,
yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Okay. They like figure out the problem themselves.
Yeah.
The heroes create the problem. No.
Nope.
Val, last one.
Lead is a fish out of water.
Yes. Susan Egan.
She's not a science teacher. She's so white.
She's so white. All right. Well, everyone, we got one bingo this week.
Great.
Yeah.
Gotta kick up that bingo.
Gotta kick up that middle line. We've got clothes or items you owned. Rotten Tomatoes 40 to 60. Happily Ever After. Almost Kissing. And Someone Who Became Famous.
Wow.
We don't get that one too often.
No,
because we don't get I feel like we don't get Almost Kissing and Rotten Tomatoes at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. Good job. Well, I've created a game, and since we're in person, Val and I are going to play a game where I had my coworker Alex, shout out to my coworker Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Write down the answers for us. So I don't even know.
Whoa. Okay. We're going to play together.
All right. So this is the game of inspired by Susan Egan's Meg from Hercules. This might be hard for Val, but I don't care. We're playing it anyway. We're playing Match the Princess Voice to the Actress.
Wait, do I have to know the actress's name off the top of my head?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Good.
So I have a list for Val.
Okay.
And we are both going to match the princess. Also, there's a special person in here who I just wanted to include. Match the princess to the actor. So it's kind of like there's a column of one side and column of the other side, and you have to draw the line to connect the people. We also have an answer key.
Great.
So
Okay.
I don't think it's timed. I think we'll go until we're done.
Okay.
But here is your.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll do mine over here. Okay. I know exactly why Val's laughing.
That's so funny.
Whew. All right. Okay. So we won't say whether we're good or yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because I'm not looking at Val's paper. I can't really see it. So Val has mine. I have Val's. We're grading each other's papers.
Mm-hmm.
The game is there is a list of Disney princesses or characters on the left side, and you have to match it with their person on the right side. Val, you're missing one.
I am.
This one.
Oh, whoops.
You just draw a line to whoever's left. Val, cut that out in post. All right. So we have Ariel. The correct answer is Jodie Benson. Okay. Then we have Jasmine. The correct answer is Linda Larkin. The voice of Aurora was Mary Costa. The voice of Tiana is Anika Noni Rose. The voice of Rapunzel is Mandy Moore. The voice of Belle is Paige O'Hara. The voice of Merida is Kelly MacDonald. The voice of Mulan is Ming-Na Wen. The voice of Cinderella is Eileen Woods. The voice of Snow White is Adriana Caselotti. The voice of Pocahontas is Irene Bedard. The voice of Moana is Alai Caravalho. The voice of Elsa is Adela Dazeem, which is why we laughed at the beginning. My coworker Alex wrote Adela Dazeem. Oh, I gave you that's correct. The voice of Anna is Kristen Bell. The voice of Yzma is Eartha Kitt. And the voice of Mirabelle is Stephanie Beatriz. All right, Val, you got 10.
So did you.
Oh my God!
We both got 10. Different 10.
Different 10. All right, let's see.
Basically, I knew all the newer ones.
Me too, with a couple old ones. Yeah, I did not use my critical thinking skills when it came to Merida and did not put the McDonald in there.
Well, I mean, it could have also been O'Hara or, there's a couple. But I know who Kelly MacDonald is. So that was the only reason why I got that one right. Because I could listen to her talk
all day long.
Forever.
Yeah.
I love a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is a fun fact. Ming-Na Wen, who voiced Mulan, has been a major character in a Disney, as a Disney princess in Star Wars and in Marvel.
That's amazing.
She's got the Disney trifecta.
Is that the actress that everyone was mad she was in Star Wars?
No.
Okay.
That was Rose, or her character's name is Rose. Oh,
I was going to say that would be very sad for her.
No,
I
no,
hated
no.
that happened.
No, Ming-Na Wen is like pretty respected,
Okay.
I think, because she's such a badass.
Yeah.
Like she's like 50. She looks like she's like my age, and she like can do her own stunts. Like she is a badass.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, good job with us. We tied.
We somehow equally know Disney princesses, even
Different
though
ones.
Al should have definitely.
I should have done so much better.
I would have expected Al to have absolutely destroyed me in this.
Yeah,
game.
no. I after like thinking about it when I was like, I'm gonna create this game, and then I was like, I don't know. Great. Thanks for playing, Val.
Thank you for coming up with such a great game, and thank you for our friend over at the office.
Thank you, coworker Alex,
who wrote Adele Dazeem.
Adela Dazeem. Val, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming over.
In your home. She gave me cauliflower pizza. She gave me Jerusalem salad and friendship.
That's right. I always give
Those are the three things. Oh my gosh. Thank you for 3,000 downloads. We wouldn't be here together without you. We'll probably make some sort of announcement when we hit 4,000, but we'll probably do something big when we hit 5, 10, 1 million. Okay. Thanks for listening. Follow us on Instagram. We're not saying subscribe this time. We're just saying follow us on Instagram. Tell someone to follow us on Instagram.
Follow.
Follow for follow. Bye, Val.
Bye, Al.
This podcast was produced by me.
And me.
And it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.